Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to go through how I sculpted my new fox parts. It's just a head at the moment. It's going to be my new fox sculpt for this year. So my older fox sculpt will be retired and I'll be moving on to this one. This one is slightly bigger. It's actually quite a lot bigger, to be honest. It's roughly the size of my wolf doll. So again, it'll be a bigger doll, but as with a bigger doll means it will be a little bit more expensive, but I think it turned out really well and I'm excited to go on and make the first fox doll. So what I'm using to sculpt the fox face with is monster clay, and this monster clay is soft. You can get it in soft, medium or hard, and I have a video on my channel if you want to know a little bit more about the clays that I use. It's in the Materials 101 playlist, so check it out if you're not sure anything about monster clay, because I have a few videos on it. So basically monster clay is a wax-based clay, so it doesn't actually go hard. It's only really good for if you're molding and casting things like I am, but if you want something more permanent you can use like a polymer clay like Sculpting or Fimo, but I prefer to work with monster clay, and I like working with softer clays as well, so it's a bit easier on my hands. So basically what I'm doing is I'm shaping out the snout area of my fox and just roughly sketching in some details of the nose area, and then I'll go ahead and add the jaw and just refine all of the other pieces and refine the eye area as well. But I always like to get a basic shape before I do too much detail on things. So the big difference with this fox sculpt is this one will be able to have glass eyes in it, so I'll be able to cast some glass eyes in it. If you want to know how to cast glass eyes, I have a tutorial in my shop on creaturesofnat.com where I go through a tutorial. There's a video tutorial and then there's a PDF tutorial, so it is in a zip folder, so if you do purchase it, just make sure you read the listing and understand what it is. Alright, so what I'm doing now is just adding the jawline and just working on the mouth area. The foxes have a funny little mouth line, so that doesn't actually go up or down, it's kind of squiggly. So I just wanted to get it in the right the way it looks. So now I'm working on the eyes, and I like to use some cabochon eyes. If you have the tutorial, you understand why I do what I do like this. So I'm just positioning him in the spot that I like and comparing it to some reference images that I have on my computer next to me. I always like to work with reference images. If you don't have a computer, you can look at them on your phone, and that way it can make sure that your sculpture is symmetrical and everything looks to shape as well. So moving on to putting the eyelids and working on that area. So I positioned the eyes where I like them to be. I like to rotate my head around to make sure that they're not out of place or a bit further away from each other. So rotate your sculpture around as much as you can to get all shapes, angles. So I like to work with little worms when I'm doing the eyelid area. That way I can sort of press it into the sculpture itself. But I mean, if you have a different way of doing eyelids, then all by means do whatever works for you. But I like to use eyelids, little worms for eyelids. I know you can sort of smush it out into a pancake and use it that way, but I find the worms work best for me. And I have a lot of sculpture tools as well, so these ones I just found on eBay. You can get them pretty cheap. I have a video on the sculpting tools that I use, so again it's the Materials 101 playlist, and it should help you out if you're new to sculpting or anything. You can also make your own, which I kind of want to do this year, make some rake tools. But yeah, if you don't want to make them, you can also find them on eBay pretty cheap. Alright, so I'm just going to go around and build up on the fox face until I'm happy with it. I ended up working on it for a number of hours because I wasn't really happy with the way the muzzle area was turning out. It was a little bit too cutesy for me and not really fox looking. It kind of looked like a baby fox, which I kind of wanted to steer away from. It was good, it was cute, but it's not what I wanted, so I ended up just changing the snout area altogether. So this year I hope to do sort of more like collection releases rather than just like a doll at a time. So I want to sort of branch out into other things like mini sculptures or mini diorama type things. Also some sticker sets, so for people that want something more affordable, I've been working on a lot of different sticker sets. So I hope to have like a theme release, so the first one that I'm thinking of would be like a woodland release, and it would be part of the main character would be like a fox. So I'm still working on it, and I'm still working on a few more props for it, but I have a number of little things that I want to do, and themes that I want to do as well for this year. So yeah, I really wanted to give something more affordable back to people, because I have a lot of people complain about the price of my dolls. Not that they should complain, because you shouldn't complain about artist prices, but yeah, I wanted to make things more affordable, because dolls aren't really affordable to a lot of people. So yeah, I've been working on something that will be easier for everyone to get. Alright, so moving on to the ears. So I ended up going with like these ears that are kind of half pushed back and half forward. The first ears that I initially did were way too big. It kind of looked like a phoenix fox, but you know, it was cute, but again, I wasn't really going for the cute thing, so I ended up making them a bit smaller. And the good thing about monster clay is you can actually make it a lot softer if you want to like pinch ears together, for example. I know if you've used Sculpey, it can become a bit hard, and you need to like mold it together or and work it together to make it pliable again. But with monster clay, you can just sort of heat it up with like a heat gun or something. Just don't put it in the microwave, because then it will turn into a puddle like I have done before. So yeah, I ended up just pinching the top end off the fox, it's just so I make the ears a bit smaller. So here's where I was kind of unhappy with the way it was looking, the snout area. It was too cutesy for me. I didn't want a cutesy fox, and I didn't want like a baby fox or anything. So I tried a couple of different things to make it look a bit more adult-like, by adding some more fur details on the corners of the mouth and just filling out the snout area a little bit. But essentially what I had to do is just cut the snout off and add a little bit more to make it a bit more elongated like a adult fox is. So I got my trusty knife and I cut off the nose and added a bit more to the snout area just so I could make it longer. And I'm really glad I did this because it changed the face of the fox completely and made it look more adult-like. It's still cute, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look like a baby phoenix fox now. So yeah, sometimes you just have to cut off your work and sort of start again if you're not happy with it. But usually when I've done that, I'm pretty happy with the decision for starting again. So don't be scared to start again. So I went ahead and reattached the nose, and luckily it kept most of the detail as well. So again, the good thing about monster clay is you can just heat it up and it will stick to each other. I know with Sculpey you have to sort of add some liquid Sculpey or work it in really well. But yeah, it's the beauty of monster clay. It's really easy to stick it together, and it's also easy to take it apart if you don't like it. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with the way it looks right now. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some fur details, and I use a little needle tool to add my fur details. I also get a lot of questions why I actually bother furring the fur details in on all my sculpts, and I like to do it because I find that the furring it makes it more, give it a more finished look, and also lets me know where the fur direction goes. And I find that I can add some more details into the sculpture itself when I'm adding the fur texture, so I can sort of carve out a little bit and just work in some of those areas that I haven't refined a bit more. So I like doing it. You don't have to, but I prefer to do it. It's not a big deal if you do or you don't. And this sculpt will be ready to mold now, so I'll hopefully do it over the next 2 weeks, and I can start making a brand new fox sculpt for my new collection. Again, it will be a woodland collection this time. I'm not going to give any of the other ones away just because I want it to be sort of a surprise, or like maybe you can guess if you follow me on my Instagram, you might be able to see some works coming up. Alright, and that is it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you have any video requests, you can leave it in the comments down below. You can also check me out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures of Nat, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!